Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be taking this 2022 Honda HR-V on a POV test drive. This one is the LX trim, and the LX is the base trim. There are 4 trims you could choose from. There is the LX, Sport, EX, and EXL. But let's go ahead and take this LX on a test drive and see how it does. Alright, so here is the interior of this 2022 Honda HR-V, and as I said, this one is the LX. This is the base trim, and I personally think it looks very good. But let's go ahead and take it on a test drive and see how this LX HR-V does. Here is a backup camera. Resolution is really bad, but it is nice and wide. But I'm glad that there is a backup camera. Alright, so driving this 2022 Honda HR-V LX drives nice and smooth, and I could hear a little bit of tire noise from this LX trim, but does feel nice and solid, and fan finish is perfect. And usually Honda does a great job with their fan finish. The price on this one is $24,000, but yeah, definitely feels nice and solid, and I really like the way how it drives. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this Honda HR-V on the highway and test the acceleration to see if it's strong enough. But overall, I think the interior looks good. It does have the gray interior, which doesn't really look gray. It looks more like tan to me, but I love the fact that right here on the sides, on the middle console, and on the dash, this whole thing is finished in tan/gray. Very comfortable SUV. Getting in and out is very comfortable, and you just basically slide into the seat, which is nice. And seeing out of this SUV is very good. The windows are nice and big, and yeah, basically everything about this SUV is very easy. Nice and responsive, and feels nice and solid, as I said. Definitely this engine is loud, but it is nice and responsive, and this SUV does feel very light. And it is currently on sport mode. Let's go ahead and put it back in drive, and when you put it in sport mode, everything becomes more aggressive, and overall the SUV becomes more responsive. But anyways, under the hood there is a 1.8 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. It is connected to a CVT transmission, and honestly, Honda CVT is very nice and responsive, and I really like it. And I think Honda does I think Honda is #1 when it comes to CVTs. Their CVTs feel nice and solid, and yeah, overall I really like them. But anyways, this engine produces 141 horsepower and 127 pound-feet of torque. And as I said, it is a nice responsive engine, and this SUV overall feels nice and light. And there's a little bit of wind noise, but it's not that bad for the price of this HR-V. This one does have the gray interior, as I said. It's more like a tan interior. The brakes feel nice and solid, and they're nice and touchy. And The HRV is very nice and small. It does compete against the Hyundai Kona, and it is a very easy SUV to drive. Steering wheel is nice and light, and for a base trim, I think this LX is very, very nice. You do get a good amount of things, but I really wish that it did have Honda Sensing, and for 24,000, I really wish that Honda Sensing was a standard feature on the HRV. Yeah, as I said, the brakes are very nice and touchy, and overall, it is a nice SUV. I do really like the way how the HRV drives, but I really like the way how the Hyundai Kona looks like from the outside. From the inside, I do have mixed feelings about them, but overall, this Honda HRV feels nice and planted, feels solid at higher speeds. So overall, I really like it. There is a storage place in the bottom with one USB and 12 volts. It does have a 5-inch screen. That 5-inch screen, I really wish it was a little bit bigger. For 24,000, I really wish that Honda offered a 7-inch screen in this base trim. Very comfortable. The suspension setup is actually nice and comfortable, but at the same time, you definitely could push this HRV around corners quick or fast. Yep, definitely this 1.8 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine is very loud, and the moment you take your foot off the gas, you just hear nothing basically. So if I hit the gas now, it just becomes very quiet after you let go. So it is a nice responsive engine, and overall this SUV is good, but for 24,000, I really wish that Honda added Honda Sensing as a standard feature, and I really wish that the screen was a little bit bigger. But other than that, everything is beautiful about this HRV. Feels nice and solid, and I personally think it is a good looking SUV. So since this is the LX trim, it's not going to have a sunroof. If you guys get the sport trim, it will have paddle shifters, and it will have, I believe, a bigger screen, and it will have CarPlay. But this LX doesn't have any of these. And I think if you guys want remote start or engine start, and push to start, easy entry, you have to go for the EX trim. But seriously, I'm really surprised and shocked with the way how this LX HRV drives and the way how it looks. It doesn't look like a base trim from the outside, and drives nice and feels solid. And overall, I think Honda did a great job with this base trim. And if you guys are curious about the fuel economy numbers, they are 27 in the city, 31 highway, and 29 combined. And I think those numbers are very good for this HRV. And overall, for a base trim, I think this is a good deal. But as I said, I really wish it had Honda Sensing and a bigger screen. And Apple CarPlay would have been nice too, but overall driving this HRV is nice, and seeing out of this SUV is very good, and getting in and out is super easy. You just basically slide into the seat, and this HRV does actually have Bluetooth, voice command, and yeah, overall I'm very impressed. Climate controls are very easy to use. AC button is in the bottom. As I said, there's a storage place in the bottom. Cup holders are nice and big. You could close this, open the bottom if you want to, so that's nice. You could slide this armrest to the front. AC vents look alright. I really wish they had a different design to them. This is all plastic. Feels a little bit on the cheaper side, which is expected, of course. But yeah, steering wheel looks good. It's not wrapped in leather, but it is definitely nice. Let's go ahead and do an acceleration right here from a dead stop. So it is nice and powerful, and it keeps basically just pulling, which is nice. And at first it's not responsive from a dead stop. It feels almost like it has turbo lag, and then it goes. But honestly, very impressed with this 1.8 naturally aspirated. It is definitely loud, but it is nice and responsive, and I don't think you will have any issues passing someone on the highway or merging on the highway. But I hope you guys enjoyed this POV test drive of this 2022 Honda HRV. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and see Tim here at Executive Honda in Wallingford, Connecticut. And if you guys are interested in seeing more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.